thanks so much for coming and listening. My name is Laura Makowitz. I graduated from East High School back in 2003. I was a recipient of this scholarship, humbly, which is an incredible experience. So I'm really proud to be a part of the committee and to help spread the word about the opportunity. And we're here to answer any kind of questions you have. And I want to introduce David.
Yes, my name is David Herzig. I graduated from Syracuse University many years ago, and I'm very proud to say that we are the firm that built the statue and the granite pieces at the Ernie Davis Plaza.
That's great. Thanks, David. So this is being recorded for use to share out to your counselors and other students who might have questions. We're going to just do a little brief talk through about the scholarship, maybe 5-10 minutes. And then if people have questions, you can unmute, you can put it in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer questions. But the committee really wants to make sure students that are interested know about the scholarship, all the pieces, and that there's a ton of support out here to help share his legacy. So everyone in this local community knows a lot about Ernie Davis, and the challenge of the scholarship is to continue to spread that legacy. Let's see if I can get my screen to move. So David's going to talk a little bit about this slide. So for those of you closer to the Elmira area, David, tell us about this statue.
The original statue with the bronze plaque was placed at Ernie Davis Middle School. Actually, I was wrong. We put it up in 1987. And I believe in maybe 2015 or 17, am I saying? Yes, it was moved to its current location at the Ernie Davis Academy. And a beautiful plaza was built with all of the history of Ernie's past and some character memorials showing how he lived his life and how he's a model to all of us. And I really have to tell you, I personally appreciate everybody being on here because I believe it's such an important thing and such a way to pass the word about his life.
Absolutely. And I grew up in Corning, New York, when my parents grew up in Elmira, and Ernie Davis was a household name said with reverence and with humility. And as you all take this journey to apply for the scholarship, you're going to learn so much, and you're going to be humbled, and you're going to be really proud of our local community. And this is a really neat opportunity to continue to share his legacy as an athlete, but most importantly about who he was and his character. And you'll learn that as you go along the process. So locally, we have this statue that celebrates his legacy. And then back in 1989, a scholarship was established by former players, other community members, to make sure we continue to remember him. So the challenge is to share his legacy through the scholarship. In addition, we also have another award for his coach, Marty Harrigan, who is a well-known name in the community as well. So let's talk a little bit about the scholarship. If you are a senior, so it's open just to seniors, attending either a high school in Corning or in Chemung County. So I wrote this before when it was East and West High School. I know that's changed, even though I was an East High goer. So just the one school in Corning, and then any other school in Chemung County. So as long as you're a senior and you're attending school in one of those spots, you can apply to this scholarship. And then the second requirement is that you participate in a high school or community team, which emphasizes sportsmanship and team collaboration, as well as physical activity. I think this has changed a lot over the years as other sports and community teams have evolved. So if anyone has any questions, for example, someone reached out about marching band recently, that qualifies for our scholarship. That is a high school team that competes, and there's physical activity, and there's the importance of teamwork and working together, which is what Ernie, emulated his entire life. I'll pause right here. Does anyone have questions about, sort of the two main qualifications to apply? You can add it in the chat, or you can unmute yourself, but feel free to, raise your hand via Zoom or send in the chat if you have a question about qualifications. And then the next ask is you can either develop a project to spread the word about his legacy, or volunteer for 44 hours in honor of the number he wore on his jersey while spreading the word. So if you choose, a certain space to volunteer, the ask is while you're volunteering to talk about, why you chose to volunteer and that you're here to honor Ernie Davis and to spread the word. I'm gonna move my little spot here. And then there's a scholarship application, which is general information along with reflection questions, similar to other scholarships that are in the community. Hopefully you guys can see this.
And that can be acquired from the website, Ernie Davis website.
Yes. And it's a significant amount of money. It's up to $15,000 for the Ernie Davis Scholarship that you will be given throughout your time in your higher education. And I believe Marty Harrigan is up to $6,000. So there's a true, it's an impressive amount for a local scholarship to be given to a student. Anything else to add with that, David?
You've covered it very nicely. Are there any questions? How did you folks know about this scholarship?
Counselors at my school sent out messages on Schoology, which is the platform we use.
In what school do you attend?
I go to Elmira High School.
Okay. Well, that's good. We're glad that you did. So have you been online to look at the application?
Not yet. They just sent out the information for the Zoom today. So I
Okay.
was gonna get more information and then take a look at the application.
It's a very easy application to fill out. I believe it's only 3 or 4 pages. And I encourage many to do it. It's really a great program.
My
ahead.
athletic director actually recommended it to me. He brought it to my attention. So he
That's-
kind of showed me a little bit about the website. I got a little sneak peek of it. But I really found out about the Zoom today as well.
Beautiful.
Got
Beautiful.
it. We had a question come up in the chat about some ideas of where to volunteer while spreading the word. I think I challenge applicants to look where community needs are. Thinking about all these communities, Elmira, Corning, Greater Sherman County, Greater Southern Tier, all have little different, chunks of community, and whether there's a local food bank, community nonprofits that support the area, there's a lot of opportunity to pick a spot that could really make an impact. I will reach back out to the committee and see if they have any recommendations, but in general, we just, suggest to students to look at their local community, keep an eye out on social media of where needs are, where the volunteer call to action might be.
And be
44
creative.
Go ahead, David.
Be creative. You may come up with an idea. We encourage that.
Yeah, I can give an example. Past recipients, a previous applicant was very passionate about gymnastics. So she volunteered for, I believe it was a local YMCA to be a support person for one of their programs. Different people also did something with trails, right? And clearing trails in honor of Ernie. So it's really what your passions are too for giving back. All right. So yeah, the Ernie Davis Scholarship is a website we created to be a resource for students. There's also a list of past recipients on there and a few project examples. This scholarship has been going on for a very long time. And I know when I did it back in 2003, I thought, oh no, like, what should I do? A lot of people have had so many different ideas, but like David mentioned, there's endless possibilities as times change and needs change and ways to share out change. I mean, Facebook didn't exist when I did the scholarship, and there's been some neat events and programs and things that students have built. So just keep an open mind. And related to that, we do open the opportunity to have mentors. So that'd be someone in the community to help guide you if you had questions, an accountability partner, right? To have a monthly check-in or a biweekly check-in of how your project's going. We want to make sure anyone who is interested in applying for the scholarship has all the support and resources they need. All right. The main deadlines to hold on to are the application itself is due on April 1st. So there is some time. It will creep up, but there is some time. And then we announce in early June in time for sports banquets and all the things the wonderful things that happen for seniors at the end of the school year. Any other questions? Did you come to this meeting with questions? I can give a little feedback and then we can wrap up, but I know sometimes projects and things can be daunting, right? Or the volunteer ask. I think it speaks to the level of, the level of importance of sharing Ernie, because there is work with this scholarship, but it's incredibly rewarding work, whether you are the recipient of the scholarship or you do not receive the scholarship, in terms of what you learn, how you'll connect in the community, and how appreciative you'll become of all that he did in his very short time here during a very, challenging time in our country's history as well.
Very well worded. Yes, very well worded. Yeah.
That's one of the updates we made to the scholarship several years ago. So there's two short reflection questions. What was your project or volunteer service, and how did it spread the word about his legacy is the first one. And then based on your project or volunteer service, how did it expand or change your thoughts on social justice issues like racism, and give an example. So we want to bring to light, exploring and reflecting on all pieces of history that was a part of Ernie Davis's life and legacy. Trying to think, David, if we have any other questions we could attempt to ask.
And while you were speaking, I was doing the same. Are you sure that no one has any questions out there?
This is a no judgment zone. If it's silly, exactly. Or
we do want you all to participate. Like Laura was saying, would be a very rewarding project to take on. But at the end of the day, it's also rewarding for you and would help offset some of the high college university expenses as well.
We'll check the chat.
Could Reign of Hope be a possible volunteer place?
Tell us a little bit about Ring of Hope. I'm not familiar with Ring of Hope.
So it's like kids who are either like disabled, or it's kind of like a therapeutic horse barn where people like work with each other and connect with each other with a horse, or get to learn about horses, or learn about different things about different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say so as well. I mean, it shows compassion, which is one of the characters of Ernie. I would say when it helps anybody understand that if you live life correctly, your whole life can be very happy and rewarding. Do you agree, Laura?
Absolutely. If any students have, a close connection to a cause or a space where you're already helping out, challenge you to up your game to either a spread the word project there, or additional volunteering with some intentional sharing about Ernie. So there's no rhyme or reason other than, that direct piece of giving back if you choose the volunteer track.
And we saw how Ernie lived his life and how it became very successful because he did the right things and he worked at the right things. And that's what we all learned from him. So anyone that you present this to, by spreading that word and that way of life, is going to be happy to learn all of that.
Yes, absolutely.
Any other projects come to any other minds?
Yeah, project ideas, since we're all here, you want to throw out there?
What do you mean by projects?
So it can be anything, right? With the ultimate goal of spreading the word about his legacy. So past years, my my project was to write a book, a kid's book about his life. So in a way kids could understand. That was my project because I liked to draw and write. I've seen bracelets, I've seen blankets, displays at local museums, community events, spin cycle events, posters. Going into
Even
schools.
college or not college presentations, but school presentations.
Mhm. Yeah, really anything to think, all right. And again, I don't know how much you all know about his legacy, but I was floored by all that he went through and all that he did before doing this project. So, you know, hopefully by your project, you are creating that same moment for someone else who didn't know all that he did and all that he contributed to and all that he fought for.
One bit of information that you may or may not be aware of is he was the first African-American football player to receive the Heisman Trophy, which for football, which is the highest award that you can receive as a football player. And that's another aspect where we're all honored to have had him in our community. Very few people through the years have received that stature, and he was from our area, and we're all really, anybody that's involved and has learned about him is very proud of that. It was a real accomplishment, and what we try to learn is what he did to become so special. And that's what you're really presenting to the next group. And that's what you'll be rewarded with, is your ability to tell as many people as you can or express to them what this person stood for.
Right.
And that's the real goal, is to keep his legacy alive.
Absolutely. Someone just asked in the chat about how the selection process works. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So, you know, as long as you submit your project or your confirmation of volunteering by April 1st, along with that application, you will be considered for the award. The committee, there's, I think, maybe 10 of us, David.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Community members, people who've been touched by his legacy, people close to the community that review all the applications. We have a scoring template that is the same for everyone. And it's based on most heavily on what, you know, if you did your volunteer project or your service project, and then, you know, references, your reflection questions. And then we look at those final numbers and see who ended up being the recipient of either the Ernie Davis or the Marty Harrigan. And there's been many years where we've split the Marty Harrigan for multiple students because of their outstanding applications and just the character references that people send in on your time. So there can be multiple people that get that notification that they've become a recipient of the award. And then actually, and David, correct me if I'm wrong, but winners of the scholarship, their names go into the plaza, correct?
Correct.
That's
yes. Yes, there is a very nice brick installed at the plaza, made of granite, everlasting, with the year that you received it, which would be 2023, and your name is an Ernie Davis Scholarship winner. Very, very nice commemorative project. And matter of fact, if you're in the area, you really should go to the plaza and look at the installation of all that and see the past recipients' names, and you may know them, and you may also be related to them. But it's quite an honor to be a part of that.
And if other questions come up, there's this Gmail, Ernie Davis Scholarship Gmail. Please reach out. That'll actually come to me so I can help connect you to other committee members who can help answer other questions you might have. We will ask about other places to volunteer, but that's the challenge of the student, to find that spot where they want to help. But if you want some guidance or some ideas, we can help share some. And yeah, we hope you apply. We hope you go through this process because it's so important to remember him and to learn all the amazing things that he did right here in the Southern Tier. It's pretty amazing that he was a part of this area, and he continues to be a part of this area.
And we're all here to help. We want it successful for you. So as Laura is saying, any questions, we want to work with you. We want you to get into this because we build camaraderie and friendships through this.
Absolutely. All right. With that, we will, any other questions? This is your last chance. So we're gonna end the Zoom. All right. Well, thank you for coming in to the Zoom. Oh, hang on. Oh, thank you. Yes, you're welcome. We will, please be in touch. Please reach out, and we're here. Enjoy the holidays, and then hopefully we hear back from a lot of you with questions or wanting to share some ideas about projects. Like David said, we're here and we're excited to help support you. So have a good evening and thanks for joining.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.